Here we go. We're with the group here that residents of Quiet Hill on their weekly mission of traveling through Rio Rancho wilderness. Well, at least that's kind of what I'm referring it to. And they go out every Saturday morning and as well as on Mondays and pick up trash. As you can see, we have quite a bit just in this short little trip, but there's a lot more needed. You guys want to tell me what has been some of the issues you've run into here?
Well, some of the issues is that this used to be a big homeless encampment, and our mission is to try to identify and report any type of encampments we see in this area. This area is a very high fire risk area, and with a lot of dry brush and kindling. The homeless do like to make camps here and use fire, which has caused a humongous fire in our area in June and also a couple months ago. So we're trying to keep our neighborhood safe. We come down here and pick up trash and just detect any problems we see down here.
Anything else to add here? You were telling us that you had called the city and had some issues.
You mean when the homeless was walking down here?
Yeah.
Yes. It was just a week ago, Saturday. This last Saturday. There were only 3 of us on the walk, just due to the way it worked out this weekend. And I had noticed who we know, one of the homeless. He hangs around down here at the other slope on Canyon Rim, and is continuously walking up and down our street, screaming and flailing his arms and arguing. And I have been told by 3 police officers at different times, do not, encounter this man. He's very erratic. Well, I called the non-emergency to tell them that we were getting ready to go on our walk, and there was only 3 of us, and we saw coming down the green belt to this slope. And she said, and I asked her if she could call the bicycle officers, and she said they didn't work that day on the slope, but she would try and get a patrol car. And I asked her if she wanted a description of his clothing, and she said no. She said, he's really just possibly taking a shortcut through there to get through to somewhere else. And I told her that I begged to differ with her because they are now trespassing signs, and the purpose of the trespassing sign was to be able to pick them up when they're down here. And I can't understand it. Why did the city spend so much money adding these restricted area signs, and then on top of them added a second sign, no trespassing, if they're not going to, honor it? Why are we down here all the time working when we could be having a good time on the weekend? I could be going shopping when it's not so crowded on a Monday. But, nonetheless, why are we doing this and then told something like that? I agree with everything that Fran had already described, but the health issue down here, the homeless are every bit as much at risk as we are, and we don't want to be mean or baddies to them, but this is our backyard, and the fire frightened every single one of us. If any of you'd like to come down here and actually look at it and see what we're talking about, we've been talking about it for a year now.
It's a very, very beautiful area.
Oh, it is.
And we would love to have anyone that's willing and able to come down and help us clean it up. And we would love to have this area somehow turned back into a place where our community can use as, maybe a dog park or a walking area. I think everyone would really, really enjoy this area, and as a community, I think we can all band together and make it happen.
I think you bring up a good point, Fran, in that unfortunately it took a fire to get the attention of our city council member here, Gina Escobar. I would invite her to come down here herself to look at this place. I think she needs it. This is her own backyard. She needs to come here and look at the problems that we have here. And it's, there's legitimate concerns here. With another fire starting up, we've seen, the fire hazards that we hear, how dry it is. You guys just had a fire here just about a month ago with the embankments here. and it's going to happen, continue to happen. So I would invite her to come down here firsthand and look at it for herself.
She has been invited.
Come on down.
Do you have, as I understand, you have sent emails and invitations and those things? Okay. Well, again, you know, from just a resident who doesn't live really close to Rio Rancho here, I just want to say how much I appreciate what you're doing for our community in general, the safety of our families and our children, and trying to keep Phillips Ranch clean and beautiful, which it is. That's one of the reasons I believe we all chose to live here.
Right.
And again, for us and all of Pomona, thank you so much for what you do.